Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Wednesday. Happy Generational Wealth Wednesday to each and every one of you. Holy moly, what an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that's the digital asset space. Listen, my friends, you and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we're winning. Kinetic markets on flare. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive. I discovered a couple of things that I want to share with you guys that that I'm liking about kinetic markets. I've been hesitant in reference to their tokens in terms of whether or not it would be something that I would want to have, keep long term, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll get into kinetic markets a little bit. We'll go over the SFLR Jewel farm as well. What is and who is the DeFi Education Fund? What is that about? Who and what? How did they get before Congress? Who invited them? We're going to get into that. I was kind of excited to see and hear from the chief legal officer of the DeFi Education Fund before Congress. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. She did really, really well. So we'll get into that as well. Listen, the market is doing what the freaking market does. We'll go over the numbers according to CoinGecko. We'll go over those numbers. I did ask Kinetic something on their borrowing and lending. Let's see if they responded. I guess I'm just confused on that net APY thing they got going on there. No, I guess they're too busy promoting the stuff they got going on with Steer Protocol. I don't see any answer to my question yet. But anyway, maybe our guy Steve will hop on. He can answer it. I'm a little confused. I'm just confused. A little confused on it. Are they saying a net APY because of all the different lending they got going on and borrowing? I don't know. City case. There it is, fam. We're gonna go into that. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? How are you, my friend? B Johnson's in the building. What's going on, bro? Life is freaking good, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream, for sure. Let's get that done. And by the way, if you happen to be in that 45 to 50% of people that are listening to and watching the Crypto Siege, and if you have enjoyed those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get that number down from 50% to about 25%. And you can do your part right now by just hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload video. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. We're going to get into kinetic markets a little bit more today. I did enter into the SFR Jewel pool last night, just a small amount, $40. You know how we do. We don't chase the game and let the game come to us. Even with those APRs, the way that we are, it's a new platform, it's a new chain. For us, in our home, that's kind of how we do it. But maybe in 30 days or so, it'll change. I know the APR may change. But in any case, we'll see what we'll do. We'll take a look at it some more today. I am doing a little bit of lending, less than $50 on Kinetics. Maybe I withdraw that and add that to the SFR pool. Finally got some freaking enough F test BTC. I don't know. Is it F test BTC? Finally got enough that I think we'll be able to mint and redeem some of that BTC. So we'll see. We're going to go over there and head over there with the Bifrost wallet and see what is freaking good over there with the F-Test BTC. Pookie Pookie says, help me out, Siege. Every time I try to mint BTC, it says fee too low. Fee too low. Any suggestions? Yes. Our guy Steve did a video on what you have to do to change that fee. He did a video on that, on how to change the fee. Let's see if we can't find his channel. I think this is the quickest way for me to get to his channel. But he did a video recently, Pookie Pookie, on that fee thing. So let me see if I can't find his YouTube channel. I have a hard time when typing it in, finding it, which is, what it is. It is whatever it is. But let me see if I can't find this YouTube channel. Um, all right. So here's this YouTube channel.
So,
but this is not the video I want. Let's let this load. We'll get his channel. He does really, again, he just has a very good way of finding the little subtleties and nuances in Flare networks and the platforms on Flare. And he did, in fact, cover that very thing. Pookie. So let me go here to his channel. And then we'll find that video. We'll check that out together. So this is his channel. All right. So here's his YouTube channel for you guys. So you can go subscribe. Highly recommend you do that. Let's go here. There's his YouTube channel. All right, so there's the YouTube channel there. So we're going to cover that. Remind me, Pookie, to go over that. We'll make sure we cover that for sure. What's going on? Pay me an XRP. Pay me an XRP is like, all I know is I got into this SFLR jewel pool 3 days ago, and I'm already looking at 116 jewel rewards, which is $7.16. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. And so again, for me, we're going to get into the value of this asset jewel. And I said that I would, in my rewards, I would 50% out of jewel and go into FLR. That's what I would do. So we'll have to see if that changes. For now, I don't think it has changed. I would take the rewards personally and swap some out. But that rate is awesome. Sure, it's great. Again, in an assessment of the asset, where does jewel rank for you? If you took FLR and jewel, ETH, and Bitcoin, and XRP, where would you value? Where would you put the jewel token? What's your assessment of jewel token? Right. So, that's kind of how I'm looking at things and kind of evaluating of that. Do we know if Kinetic market is going to be the Aave of the Flare networks? Like Aave is the Aave of the freaking Ethereum blockchain. It's the #1 leading protocol. Lending. It's the #1 lending protocol. Do we know if Kinetic is going to be that? Like, do we know? So that's kind of how it is. And again, it's not up to, they gotta win the market, they gotta win the market share, right? And so that token, how valuable is it? It has a price. It's on a couple of exchanges. Where would you rate it? How would you assess it? What's your strategy? So that's kind of how that is, right? So for me, that's a hedge. For me, the hedge is 50% jewel, 50% FLR for me, because FLR, I assess it to have a higher value than jewel. That's just me. So I'm going to, because I'm already in the low pool, I would split that jewel rewards as a jewel and key, jewel, whatever. I would split it and take half of it, put in FLR. Then I'll decide what I'm going to do with the other half of jewel. Am I going to stake it to get more key? Then I'll kind of do the strategy thing. You understand? That's my strategy. That's what I'm saying that I would do. Jack's in the building. I don't know when the FSS launch goes, but I believe it is by the end of 2024, bro. How are you, Jack? Appreciate you checking in. B's in the building. What's good, my friend? What is good? All right, so let's get into it. I appreciate you guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you didn't do it on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat. go smash that like button, then come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and fam. Oh, Pookie Pookie. So you did do it. Pookie Pookie, you changed the fee? I did, but same thing happens. You change it on the confirmation screen. Hmm. I don't know how much into detail he went into the video on his channel about that, but I know he did show where to do it and all that kind of stuff. So Kyle T. Moore's in the building. How are you? I have not, Pookie Pookie, had that issue because I haven't had a chance to mint BTC yet. You should probably just go on to Flare Networks and find Flare Networks' latest post with a screenshot of that thing and see if they can answer for it. Jack A's in the building, says, I have all my FLR wrapped, just waiting. I hear you. It's hard to find people covering FLR. Yeah, yeah. I just put a link in Steve there who does it. I do it. Flare Community YouTube channel does it as well. What's going on, Cali Cat? Payment FXRP says, I look at Jewel like this, not and, not and or, not and or. WFLR, Jewel, I'm going both. Same thing with Somber. I got you. Yep. I got you, bro. I got you. That's the beauty of being early. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Now, for me, I don't do that. Right? I assess the asset. Um, I assess the network, the layer one. I assess the asset. Remember, Kinetic is not a layer one, right? So the layer ones are winning the game, right? And then there's stuff that build on the layer ones, right? Right? The layer ones are winning the game in crypto. Then there's the stuff that builds on the layer ones, right? Or layer twos. And then there are narratives, right? So that's the value in the market right now. You look at the gainers, those are, the ones that are giving year over year returns, right? The ones that have the long-term value thus far are layer ones. Right. And so in evaluating, that's what I look at. So a new project like Kinetic that has a token, right? Right. That's it could be high reward, but it is certainly high risk. Right. Like if Kinetic Market is a business, if it's a business, has it been around for 3 years? If it's a business, has it been around for 5 years? If it's a business, has it been around for 10 years? Right. That's kind of how I assess it. So Cali Cat says CJ is my go-to for consistent FLR content. I appreciate that, my guy. Bearable Bull just put out a video on it yesterday. They are coming. Put a video out on what, my friend? Pay me an FXRP. What did he do? What was his video on? The Bearable Bull. Mr. XRP All In's in the building. How are you doing? I'm doing great, bro. How are you? What's good, crypto? We got all the family here. Got the Blue Rangers in here. All right. So let's go over this market real quick, man. We're not going to spend too much on the market. It's doing what it does. It's just doing what it does. We'll go over that real quick. Take a look at Kinetic Markets. All right. So wait a minute. Let's see. 57, huh? Let CoinGecko refresh here because right now it's saying BTC is at 57,855. We'll make sure that's correct. And the Bitcoin dominance is at 54%. We'll see if this is all good. All right, let's refresh that. Let's refresh, and see if that's good. I'm giving probably a good example would probably be in pay me in FXRP would be in the Solana ecosystem. If you look at an OG like Radium, I'm going to say Radium. Let me see something, and maybe Jupiter or something else. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Let's see. Take a look. I forgot I was sharing that whole time. Apologize. I apologize. All right, let's go here. All right, let's see something. Let me check something out because I might be incorrect on this, but I think I am. Oh, let's see. Yep, there it is. Let's see what we got going on here. 46. Okay. 384 million. Okay, yeah, probably makes sense. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. All right. All right, what we got? Michael Morcazy's in the building. What's going on, bro? Hydro's here. What's up, brother? B says throwing poop at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. Indeed. Now, I would personally like I would put the Jewel token in my 10%, right? It would be in my 10% thing. And so would be FLR. So would FLR. It would be in my 10% in terms of portfolio. Hydro says, my man sees what's good. What's good with you, Hydro? All right, let's go to this market, man. What in the world? I appreciate you guys checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button while you're checking in. That would be super, super cool. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash that like button. Then come back and hang out with the Crypto Seasons fam. Let's go over this market real quick. I mean, what the world? I mean, it's just doing what it does. Anyway, according to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 2.12 trillion. 2.12. Bitcoin dominance is roughly 54, 55%. Bitcoin is trading at $57,836. Again, on a 30-day, it is down 3%. Ethereum is trading at $2,367. Again, and on the 30-day, it's down 11.5%. Solana is trading at $133 again. And on a 30-day, it is down 9.8%. XRP is trading at 53 cents again. And on a 30-day, it is at 6.6%. The market, fam, is just freaking doing what the market does. It's just doing what it does. Oh, that FET play looked like FET is winning, right? Looks like FET is winning to me. Looks like FET is winning this AI play, right? Still got 12, 13, 14 months of growth. It's proving itself to me. Tell me. I'm putting it ahead of BitTensor. I'm putting it ahead of Render. Tell me. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, you know how I find it interesting that people buy Bitcoin at 60,000 and 70,000 and they don't want to buy a token at $1? People buy Ethereum at 2,500 and they are terrified, petrified to buy XRP at 3, 5, and $10. I don't understand that thinking. I don't understand that thinking. This is not chasing the game, letting the game come to you. Looks like they're winning market share to me. Looks like they're right number 29, 3 billion in market cap. You know, a very wise investor said, be in the 1% of assets. Be in the 1% of assets. Right? Maybe the 1% of layer ones, maybe the 1% of the RWAs, maybe the 1% of the AI gaming. Maybe. All right, so let's take a look at Kinetics over here real quick, fam. Let's say we're going to do a little looking into Kinetic markets over here. Here's their Twitter page. Okay, there's their Twitter. It's Kinetic Markets. It's the first lending protocol on Flare Networks. It's pretty cool. It says, "Hey, Flare family." This was their pen in December. We're Kinetic, a lending and borrowing platform, soon to release on the Flare Networks. Our Flare Networks partnerships announced in the wake of the F asset beta was no coincidence. They will be integrated directly into Kinetic. Their future's looking freaking bright, right? We're teaming up with Kinetic by Rome Blockchain Labs for easy lending, borrowing on Flare, right? So they were the first to the game, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. Where's their docs at? So here's the docs on Kinetics. I usually go to the Twitter page to find their link tree, to find the docs. That's what I did. So welcome to Kinetic, the premier lending protocol on the Flare network that aims to transform the landscape of decentralized finance. By leveraging innovative advancements in the FTSO, Flare Time Series Oracle, and FSS, Kinetic facilitates the lending and borrowing of digital assets like BTC, Doge, and XRP in a secure and efficient manner. By utilizing Flare's FTSO and FSS, Kinetic enables users to leverage the value of their non-native assets within a decentralized framework. The FTSO ensures accurate decentralized price feeds, while FSS broadens the scope of assets available for lending and borrowing on the Flare network. In collaboration with Rome Blockchain Labs, and most of you probably know Rome helped build Banky over there in Avalanche, right? I was a big-time user on Banky back in the day. In collaboration with Rome Blockchain Labs, Kinetic is committed to providing a secure and reliable platform. Rome Blockchain Labs provides the technical infrastructure necessary for Kinetic's seamless 24/7 operation, ensuring a user-focused and secure platform. Kinetic's collaboration with Rome Blockchain Labs highlights its dedication to advancing the DeFi landscape on the Flare network, emphasizing a commitment to security, reliability, and innovation. Through Kinetic, users can engage in permissionless lending and borrowing of digital assets on the Flare network. That permissionless part is ginormous to the average Joe and Jane. It is absolutely ginormous to the average Joe and Jane, without question, right? Let's go here. I think this is a better look, guys. Let's see who else checked in. Bank Money XRP is in the building as well. Bank Money. Would you guys collaborate with these names, man? Bank Money. What's going on? I feel you pay me an XRP. If you're a fan / believer in SparkDEX and Scepter, then Kinetic is a pretty strong bet. The common connection that people miss is Rome blockchain. Well, how about that? We just went over that with Rome blockchain. Jack A says something I think it's just interesting. Says, if I would have only bought Bitcoin and no other coins, I'd be way better off than I am now. Not buying any BTC, not buying any Bitcoin, and only alts. You got to really look at the numbers. That's why I always say take a personal look at what you got going on and how are you doing. The numbers are in, the stats are in, the formula for winning, in my opinion, in digital assets is available. And you can't question it because the numbers suggest what it is. There are numbers that suggest how well altcoins or the total three does versus Bitcoin. Historically. So, doesn't mean you can't own alts. What I've discovered personally for me in the crypto seeders home, I can still own the altcoins. I just have to have them weighted correctly. They're in the 10% bucket for me in the crypto seeders home. Not in the all-in BTC or ETH or Solana. No, 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 no. The 10% bucket. They're in the 10% bucket. That's it. That's all it means. I got $100, 90 into BTC Solana. Maybe I mix it up with Maker. 90%, $90, $10. Okay. I'm pick one. Maybe it's $10 in Undo, increase my position. Maybe it's $10 in Super, increase my position. Right? Maybe it's $10 in the meme coin that I got that's in that 10%. I got that meme coin, Avalanche meme. Maybe it's that. And next $100, next $1,000, next $2,000, 90-10. It's 90-10. Because the numbers are the numbers. The formula is there. The market has determined. Market has determined. All right, so there it is there. So let me give you an example painting FXRP that just you can kind of decide for yourself. I look at the Solana ecosystem, for example, right? And in reference to Kinetic and its token, right? And this is just some food for thought, right? I look at the Solana ecosystem over here, 8.44 billion. It's not bad. Solana's the newcomer to the game. What, 2020? Right? Layer one, new to the game, right? With all their ups and downs and all their whatever, new to the game, right? Guess who was the OG on Solana? It was Radium. Radium was the OG. Radium. I think even more so before Orca. Radium. Radium is number 5. The newer is Jupiter. Radium, OG, 856 million in TVL. Jupiter, 1 billion. Now, Radium made it. Got to give them that. They made it. Radium made it. I don't know how long they've been around, but they made it. Radium was newer or older first. I believe they were the OG for Solana. If you want to say OG, it's Radium. Then Jupiter just launched. It just launched. I want to say 2023, right? Radium got up to $16. You can't argue with that. That's a win, right? It's a win. $16. It's a win. Market cap is 385 million for Radium. That's pretty good. At all-time low, I don't know if that's right though. December 2022. As the all-time low for Radium. That's interesting. So it was never lower than 13 cents. That's interesting. Came out swinging, I guess. Never lower than 13 cents. Yeah, so it launched higher. Guess. Did it launch that high? Interesting. That's pretty high. It's pretty high. But look at the difference in the TDL, a newer thing just out, as opposed to Radium, the OG. My point to that is you don't know which one is going to be the one. Just Jupiter's right now is higher TVL, et cetera, et cetera. So it is always awesome. There is always a great opportunity. We say this on the channel all the time, pay me in FXRP. There is always this great opportunity when you have this groundbreaking layer one, which I think is Flare Networks. I personally think it is, what's going on here? A groundbreaking layer one, personally. Did the live stream? No, it didn't freeze. And then you find the first movers on that groundbreaking layer one. There's a massive opportunity there. There's a massive opportunity. There's a chance for a win. There's a chance for a win there. Really is. I don't know what happened. There it is. I don't know what happened there. Right? Right? So there's a chance for winning. I've always said that. There's a chance with Kinetic. There's a chance with SparkDEX. There's a chance with I don't know, maybe Blaze Swap. There's a chance. There's a chance with the Gnosis Global, right? And Gnosis Global, right? Like, wasn't it like the first of the first, right? Because it was formerly Flare Finance. There's a chance there, right? But if I had to pick the asset, I would pick ETH. What's going on with this? Before I pick Uniswap. That's just me. I would pick ETH, the native asset of the layer one, over a project that's on the layer one and their token. That's just me. I don't know what's going on here with this thing. It just keeps going out. Is my live stream crapping out? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Wi-Fi is going out. So that's kind of how I assess that. That's why I would do 50%. So I would hedge it. Right? So me personally, that's what I'm doing. I'm hedging. I'm not telling you guys to do that, but I'm hedging. So I'm going to 50% the rewards into FLR. And then I'll do the other thing with the Jewel token. I think we got some Wi-Fi issues. So let's head over to Kinetics, man. Let's head over to this Kinetic. They got some nice, good features. Really, really do. Now, this is my test wallet here. So, yeah, this is my test wallet. This is MetaMask, right? Where's Yeah, this is MetaMask. My MetaMask wallet here. It's nice features, right? I love they got the dashboard, stake, you can supply and borrow. There's rewards. You can click on that, find out where you are with your rewards. I love it. And then it got a thing to vote. So it's got a nice UI UX thing going on with them. I really, really, really do like it. I really, really do. It's easy to understand. Someone can come here and kind of get it. It's 6 cents, right? What if it got to $16, $15? That would be pretty good over a certain amount of years, right? So, but my assessment of the assets is the native asset of the layer one. To me, maybe your assessment of the asset is different, but my assessment of the asset is the layer one token has greater value than, and will probably produce a year-over-year return as opposed to the asset that's building on top of the layer one, right? Because it's not just Wind Moon for me. It's not just Wind Moon. It's year-over-year return. Can I hold the FLR token and create a year-over-year return? 40%, 50%, 75%, 100%, year over year for holding it. We're going to see, but it feels like it. It feels like it, baby. So that's just kind of my thing. My assessment is the layer one, the token, the native asset of the layer one. I assess it higher in value than I do the project built on the layer one and its token. Like SparkDEX is coming out with their token. They're doing an airdrop. I would assess, personally, I assess the FLR token over whatever SparkDEX's token is going to be. Long term, right? Like BTC and ETH been around a minute. Long term. So I like the dashboard. You can stake, you can supply, and you can borrow. You can check your rewards out, which I think is pretty cool, right? Now, it's like $30 here. And it says I got some jewel, some little key. These are pennies, 3 cents, 11 cents. Staking rewards, I guess I staked some jewel. I can claim some key here, right? Little, these are pennies. But I love the UI and the UX here. I did vote with my little jewel that I had, did a little voting action here, which is pretty cool. You can do that. Easy UI, easy UX experience. Like I'm telling you, Flare Networks, that ecosystem, whether it be SparkDEX or Kinetic or Blaze Swap, there's just feels like a nice synergy amongst the projects, which I think is really, really smart. I think it's genius in motion, and just mad respect for not competing, but collaborating, if you will, and working together to grow, right? I think it's hugely smart. So when I go over to the supply and borrow, I see this net APY. And I'm wondering if they're saying USDC. You see here, I'm trying, I think it's this net APY is if there are 5 supply assets which have a borrower with them, I think the net APY is the culmination of all 5 of those, but I'm not sure. Because when I look here, supply and distribution APY here, is it this difference here, 621, and no, that wouldn't be that. So I did ask the question because I'm trying to, is the net APY on USDC, or is it the net APY for Kinetics lending and borrowing, which is what I think it is. So anyway, USDC supply here, it says the supply APY is 6.51%. It's the annualized projected return of supply and liquidity. And then the distribution is kind of like, some people might say it's the rewards APY. They could say distribution. But anyway, annualized projected return rewarded in key and jewel for supplying assets. That's 32% for supplying USDC, for a total of 38% point something. That's pretty good. But again, it's in jewel and key tokens, right? So if you're going to come over and you're going to bridge some stables from somewhere and you're going to supply USDC here, you're going to get, you're going to get a vast majority of those rewards in jewel and key. Now, if you're all in on Kinetic markets, you're going to be like, awesome, right? Like, awesome, get some jewel and key. I'll stake that jewel, get some more key, et cetera, right? I get it. You get it. I get it. So for me, I'm just hedging. I'm going to hedge into FLR with the 50% split on SparkDEX for entering into that liquidity pool. Kinetic Market's making some really good moves. That guy who's, I don't know what he is, CTO/C co-founder, funny dude. They got themselves listed on BitTrue. That's big. Got themselves listed on a reputable, I would say, reputable exchange early. I think that's big. Again, we say it on the channel all the time. If you're fortunate enough to discover a groundbreaking layer one early, and you're able to participate in the projects that build there first, there's a massive opportunity. There isn't a guarantee, but there's a massive opportunity there. It's a massive opportunity. I don't know what will be the next kinetic market on Flare networks, right? Like Ethereum has a bunch of lending protocols, but there's only one Aave, right? There's only one number one. And what I'm just saying is it's too early to determine which one is. So I would rather have more FLR. That's kind of how I look at it. So Kinetic, again, here, supplying, you can supply 4 assets. SF, I guess that's 5 assets, technically. So SFLR, USDC, USD Tether, and some FLR. Very, again, very, very UI, UX friendly. Very, very UI, UX friendly. And I love, love, love that. I love, love, love that. So that's pretty cool. Now, SparkDEX is another thing. They announced that they're going to have an airdrop. Excited about that. We're going to be early to that as well, which is going to be really, really cool. And Bifrost is launching a freaking wallet they're launching their own wallet. Their own DEX. It's called, I don't know what it's called. Tammy, I forget the name of it. It's like an interesting name. Bifrost is doing that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Their own DEX, interesting. All right, so I rambled on long enough about that. That's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how I'm going to play it. I'm going to split those rewards up into FLR, and then I'm going to wrap the FLR and go from there. All right. Let's see here. Let's get this chat going correctly. So, but what is this DeFi fund? Did you guys see this lady, this chief legal officer, before Congress? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see this? She is the chief legal officer for the DeFi Education Fund. The DeFi Education Fund. Are you guys here? I think the live stream went out a couple of times. Let me know if you guys are here. You can hear me okay and all that kind of stuff like that. Because it could be the chat just not updated. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I want to cover this DeFi Education Fund. And this lady just speaking her truth before Congress. B says the jewel rewards are repaying my SFR loan. There you go. Nice. I'm glad you have a strategy, bro. I'm glad you have a strategy. Legendary says, stream is fine. Seems okay now. All right. B says, all right. So let's cover this DeFi education thing. This lady went in. Well, she spoke her truth. Let's just say that before Congress. Let me find the right one. That's the 2-minute one. I want the 4-minute one. So it's gonna be 4 minutes, fam. But I want you guys to check this out. She was really good. Jake Travinsky actually from well, he's no longer at the Blockchain Association. I guess he was there. Board at fund_DeFi. Is that the same? Hold on. Is this? Anyway, here she is right here. DeFi Education Fund. I had not heard about it. Had not heard about this. This got me amped up in a big time way. Take a listen to this.
We'll leave you with 2 points to
testimony. Mr. Toomer, that way you're recognized for 5 minutes to give your oral remarks.
Thank you to the subcommittee for holding this hearing. My name is Amanda Tuminelli, and I'm the Chief Legal Officer at the DeFi Education Fund, a nonprofit, nonpartisan group that educates lawmakers and the public about decentralized finance and advocates for sound DeFi policy. We believe that DeFi is the path to a more equitable and more efficient financial system, one in which people have access to finance regardless of where in the world they live and regardless of the merits of their application.
Regardless of the merits. Am I not sharing this? What is going on right now? You guys are gonna fire me here in a second. I just discovered I'm not sharing this. What the world's going on? What's going on, payment XRP? Let me try that again.
Testimony, Mr. Toomer, that way you're recognized for 5 minutes of your oral remarks.
Thank you to the subcommittee for holding this hearing. My name is Amanda Tuminelli, and I'm the Chief Legal Officer at the DeFi Education Fund, a nonprofit, nonpartisan group that educates lawmakers and the public about decentralized finance and advocates for sound DeFi policy. We believe that DeFi is the path to a more equitable and more efficient financial system, one in which people have access to finance regardless of where in the world they live and regardless of the merits of their application. I will leave you with 2 points today.
Regardless of the merits of their application and regardless of where they live. That's good stuff, right? They keep talking about financial inclusion. But are we really about it? Are we really about financial inclusion? Are we still giving the banks and the central banks the nod and the blessing? Right? Are we really about peer-to-peer? Are we really about financial inclusion or no?
First, DeFi is different from and an improvement upon traditional finance because it does not rely on intermediaries. And second, the existing approach of demanding that DeFi look like, function like, or be treated like traditional finance has not and will not work. So what is DeFi and how is it different? As others have said today, DeFi enables peer-to-peer transactions in which users self-custody their assets, just like with cash. Using DeFi, a person can trade assets, make and take loans, or earn interest, but it is an improvement on the current system in a number of ways. For example, TradFi relies on intermediaries that often serve as gatekeepers to finance. Traditional financial institutions like big banks can and do deny access to the system for discriminatory reasons or no reasons.
Like, do you got access to capital? Because you have collateral to offer. Do you have access to capital? Do you have access to capital when you need access to capital? Or do you got to jump through someone else's hoops and wait on their approval? This feels like something, and I'm going to share her website, their website. Just it feels like something to get behind, right? That whole idea of just equal access to capital, financial inclusion, not being beholden to someone's mood one day or someone else's criteria determining whether or not you're deserving of access to capital. It's kind of like Gary Cardone says, like when you do something, you want to be all in on it.
But DeFi is open access. Anyone with an internet connection has access to a DeFi protocol, and that is the epitome of financial inclusion. TradFi is expensive to access and slow to use. Even the simple act of sending money usually requires paying fees to third parties and waiting days for a transaction to be approved or processed. But using DeFi, I can send money or execute far more complicated transactions anywhere in the world, 24/7, with nearly instant settlement. And as one last example, DeFi is better because it's self-custodial. As this committee knows, when TradFi services fail, customers lose access to their assets. But in DeFi, there is no fear of losing access to your money in a bank crisis because assets in your self-hosted wallet are always available to you. So that brings me to my second point. The existing approach of trying to apply rules for TradFi to DeFi will not work. The traditional financial system requires intermediaries to function. Brokers effect stock trades and clearinghouses settle transactions. And that means that we need to trust intermediaries to do their jobs reliably and honestly. And the existing rules evolve to prevent the abuse of our trust. But DeFi doesn't use intermediaries. If I want to swap two digital assets using a DeFi protocol, there is no broker and there is no clearinghouse. DeFi's existence, the very reason that this technology was developed, was to eliminate the need to rely on intermediaries and empower people to transact directly with their peers. Existing law assumes that there is some identifiable entity that can take possession of my funds, collect information about my transaction, and even block a trade. But that entity does not exist in DeFi. The untenable position between the law as it stands and the reality of DeFi technology has led to an increasing amount of regulatory uncertainty. Seasoned lawyers with decades of regulatory experience cannot give their clients advice with certainty about whether their projects comply with the law. That's why judges in multiple district courts across this country have called on Congress to make new rules regarding digital assets. And this chamber has supported bipartisan efforts and signaled that the status quo is not working for DeFi and digital assets. The existing approach of trying and failing to apply existing rules to this technology has led to so much hostility to innovation that American jobs and businesses have been heading overseas. But the vast majority of DeFi developers are smart, creative people with a vision of building a better financial system, and they want to do that legally. So the US can be at the forefront of that and create a clear path to building here, or we can let other countries pass us on the path towards our digital financial future. But if you care about national security and you care about economic development, then you want this industry here on US soil. We appreciate the efforts of members of Congress, such as those on this committee, who have engaged with us on the reality of the technology and engaged with us on a path forward. Thank you.
No, thank you. What the world? She had a little salty about her. She had a little salty about her. Legendary. Legendary. I think I like Miss Amanda. What? Bank money XRP? What you saying there, bro? What you got going on, brother? Are you ready? Are you ready for the next big thing in Flair's DeFi? It's called SparkDEX Eternal. And it's coming fast. Get your assets ready. Devon Steve, what's going on, bro? It says, can you stake Jewel on Spark? It's on SparkDEX. I don't know if you can or not, honestly. I don't think so, but I don't know. Let's check. I would just go to Kinetic and do it, but let's check. What happened last time I did something with SparkDEX and it couldn't work? I had to use a different browser, but this, I don't have to do that. I can just go to SparkDEX. I don't know if I see anything for staking Jewel on SparkDEX. I think it's just, all right, let's launch. I will connect, no, you can't. So you got to go to Kinetic, it looks like. Although if you enter the SFLR Jewel pool, you can stake if you enter the SFLR Jewel pool. So let me connect here real quick. I was preparing for minting and redeeming, so let me change that. Let's connect. I'll connect here real quick. And then I'll share. That's fair. SparkDEX. Look, I tell you what, if this SparkDEX, if this Bifrost's new DEX is anything like their wallet, holy smoke, all right. Let's do this. Let me answer this for Devon, Steve. If you enter into this farm, the SFLR Jewel liquidity pool, Devon, you can stake that way. You can stake the Jewel that way. Or if you're not interested in entering in liquidity pools, you would just go over to Kinetic and do it there. But if you enter this pool here by way of Steer protocol, you can stake it there. That's in fact, that's the way you have to do it. You see here, I have some staked and I got some Jewel already. Interesting. So Steer protocol is doing their thing. This is what I'll say. They're doing their thing with this liquidity management, with this automated rebalancing, if necessary, this automated auto claiming and all the things that they do there for liquidity management is working really, really good. It looks like it's working really good. Most people in this pool are happy about being in that pool. Not telling you guys to get into the pool. And the people that I've chatted with in the chat or in DMs, really happy with the pool. There. So that would be a way to do it. But if you just, want to just stake, you would just go to Kinetic here and just go to stake. So it's app.kinetic.market and do it there and stake there. Staking APY is 162% right now. Total value staked is 1,421,000. Interesting. Stake Jewel received this key, that type of deal like that. So nice, again, nice synergy amongst these projects. I really, really do like it. Feels like Flare Networks is that blessing in disguise. Feels like Flare Networks ecosystem, the flywheel economy is what we hoped, what we would see with the XRPL. Feels like that. Bank Money said, XRP says, that's a new tweet from both Kinetic and SparkDEX that I copied and pasted here. Really? How new? So if I go to SparkDEX, I'll see that on their Twitter. All right, let me go over to let's go to SparkDEX real quick, see if we can find that. Bank Money XRP. Oh, there it is. There it is. Thank you for sharing, bro. Thank you for sharing. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go there. This guy's got me excited. I didn't finish up on my DeFi Education Fund. All right. So if you're excited about Flare, probably would get excited about the DeFi Education Fund. I mean, they're before Congress, fighting for DeFi. Says here, SparkDEX they just pinned this 8 minutes ago. Are you ready for the next big thing in Flare DeFi? It's called SparkDEX Eternal. And it's coming fast. Get your assets ready. What we say? Go to where your assets are treated best, fam. Ho, let's go. What I keep telling you guys about SparkDEX? I keep telling you. Keep telling you. I like SparkDEX, man. Who commented? Anybody? Any comments? SparkDEX Eternal. This, what this feels like? This feels like a liquidity incentive airdrop farming thing. That's what it feels like to me. Campaign. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like this is a liquidity incentive airdrop campaign thing. That's what it feels like. It's called SparkDEX Eternal. That's what it feels like to the cryptos. Let's go. That's what it feels like to me. I can't wait. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone in about 7 business days. Yeah, that's right. That I had to tap into traditional financial tool, and they got the 7 business day crapola going on. I was like, hold on a second. It's right there. I see it. I see the money. Unbelievable. But anyway, I can't complain. I can't complain. 5%, that's not bad. No dude on the other side of the table questioning where my mom is from, where my pa is from, what's my mom's maiden name, what's my birthday, why did I take this class in high school? None of that. So, I'll put up with the 7 business day crapola. But anyway, SparkDEX Eternal, that's what it feels like. It feels like a little airdrop farming liquidity incentive campaign. And you said Kinetic Markets mentioned it? It's interesting that Kinetic Market would have mentioned that. I didn't see that. I'm on Kinetic Markets right now. Kinetic Market got this stuff going on with Steer Protocol. I forgot to mention this. Kinetic and Steer are giving out 4,400 Joule in the staking and creative competition. Staking and creative competition. This is what I'm talking about. RippleX, I hope you RippleX, I hope you guys are paying attention. Kinetic and Steer Protocol are giving out 4,400 Joule in the staking creative competition. 2 random stakers in the SFLR Joule LP on app.steer.finance will win 880 Joule. The top staker will win 1,760 Joule. Now, I'm pretty sure we can go to that pool directly. It said it's an interesting question. Let me ask you guys. You can use SparkDEX to get into this pool, right? You don't have to, because it says the pool manager will Steer Protocol, right? You don't have to go here and then enter that way, because I don't think you have to do that. Let's see here, app.steer.finance. Polygon. Layer down here at the bottom. SparkDEX. Like, I don't think you have to enter it by way of this website, right? They don't even have it on here, right? So, yeah, I'm guessing that's right. Oh, there it is right there. All right, right? You don't have to enter it this way, right? You can't even enter it here. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can. I think it's already done. You don't have to do anything. I think SparkDEX hooked that up. You don't have to do anything here. This is the strategy they're using. Wide, classic, rebalance, V2. I don't know what the smart pool is. I think if that's one. So I think SparkDEX creates the smart pool and they put it on there, and that's what it is. So 206%. Sweet. Yeah, there it is right there. Wide, 1 million. Right? You don't have to go by way of this app.steer.protocol to enter, right? You can use SparkDEX. B says the UI is still ugly. See, B is like, you don't like that pink, that purple. B don't like the Kinetic, purple and pink. That's what you talking about, B? You talking about Kinetic. So in any case, yeah, again, I mean, because they're saying this, I don't know why they didn't say SparkDEX here, but I think we're good. I don't think you have to go to app.steer.finance and do it that way. They fixed the voting page on Key, just to let you know. I mean, on Kinetic, they fixed that voting. I did vote. I did vote. I won't say what I voted, but I did vote. So here's this DeFi Education Fund. The DeFi Education Fund.org. The DeFi people, in case you missed it, we have been dubbed the DeFi people by the judge in the SEC versus Coinbase case, who was referring to our amicus brief explaining the tech at issue. We are officially leaning into those words of praise and offering up the official DeFi people merchandise. DEF advocates for the interests of DeFi users, participants, and software developers working to create new DeFi products and using blockchain technology. Among other things, we educate the public about DeFi through op-eds, podcasts, and print media, meet with members of Congress to discuss decentralized finance and attendant issues, and submit public comments on proposed rulemakings that impact decentralized finance, like Flare networks, like Kinetic markets, like SparkDEX. This is pretty cool. They got some pretty interesting merch here. They got a hat. It says the DeFi people. They got a t-shirt. I like the gray hat, I think, a little bit better. I like. Anyway, and you can donate here. Where is it? Support us. You can use BTC, ETH, Solana, XRP. You all right? What happened?
It hurt.
What'd you pinch?
I hit it.
Oh, you hit it. Okay. So you can support them here. I like it. Again, it's let me copy that. I'm gonna copy that and put that in the chat. Oh, B says, I love the Kinetic IU. Okay. UI. Baby B said, what's good? B said, hello. All right, there's the link. But yeah, so you can donate to here, and you can use US dollars and you can use crypto. ETH wallet, they got an ETH wallet, a BTC wallet, a Solana wallet, and an XRP wallet as well. BTC, ETH, Solana, and XRP. I like. Let me see. Let me click on XRP wallet. See what happens. Okay, this kind of tells you what they got going on, I guess. It's not a lot of XRP there. That's their wallet. That's their, oh, so this is the transparency tip. Okay, cool. Not a lot of people donating in, let's see what the BTC wallet looks like. Can we do that? If I click BTC wallet, where's it taking me? To btcscan.org. Okay. And you see the Bitcoin address comes up there to donate. It says no transactions. What's good? What's going on right now? Oh my goodness. Anyway, right here. Crypto. Change that from dollars. Change it to crypto. Says donate with crypto. What happens? Minimum value donation is $5. Okay. Do you have to put something in there? All right. Let's just do this and see what happens. I want to see. Okay, they want your name and all of that stuff. Anyway, but it looks like they're going to take BTC, ETH, Solana, and XRP as donations. To donate to the DeFi Education Fund, please use our donation processor or scroll down to give directly to our crypto wallet. So I didn't see an address here. Oh, right there. Okay, never mind. There it is. Got it. Activated by. Okay, I like. Yeah, so Jake Chervinsky is with these people. He's with the DeFi fund. That's because I saw that fund underscore DeFi there. Okay. Dollars or crypto, which is good. I would imagine around this time, probably best to do the Dirty Nasty Fiat. But there it is, guys. And did she not kill that game or what? I mean, she went in. Matter of, speaking with authority, concise, clearly to the point, used every second of the 5 minutes she had, right? She did it in 4 minutes and 46 seconds. She was 1000% prepared. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. And I think I was on her Twitter page over here, on their Twitter page as well. Let's see. Yep, fund underscore DeFi. That's who I think he's with now, Jake Chervinsky. She's chief legal officer. Check her out here getting asked another question.
It's the bad actors who actually commit.
Mr. Tuminelli, you think, yes or no, should there be any liability that's there?
I think bad actors should be held liable for the bad conduct that they engage in. Not the developers, not the people who created the software. It's the bad actors who actually committed the crime. We should go after.
So there should be no liability for the people who created the tool. So back to my pizza example, the people made the pizza joint, they used these laws, there should be no liability for them because they're just pizza producers.
If I make a neutral tool that somebody uses to
Okay,
commit crime, I should not be held responsible for that person's conduct.
Okay, Mr. Tuminelli, you think?
I kind of like her. She didn't back down. She didn't back down. And then again, you should hold people, the people who did the crime, the bad actor, accountable. Hold the bad actor accountable. No one's holding the internet accountable for all the crimes that are created on the internet. Kind of how I see it. So there it is, fam. That's some good stuff from that lady right there, legendary. That's some good stuff from that lady right there. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. Kinetic Markets. I'm liking the UI UX experience going over there. I like the way they got things set up. At the SFLR Jewel Pool, I'm still sticking to my guns. That's what I'm going to do with rewards. B says bodegas aren't getting rated for what goes down outside of it. Legendaries says that's like suing a tool company by building a hammer and someone used it to hit someone in the head with it. That's exactly right, bro. This is exactly right. That's right. I love that. There it is, fam. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate you guys. The Flare Networks flywheel economy is in full freaking motion. It's in full motion. It is in full freaking motion. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And again, if we're blessed enough to be early to a groundbreaking, game-changing level, layer one, like Flare Networks, and then we get early access and opportunity to participate on the early projects on top of that layer one, there can be huge opportunities there. Not short term, long term. Right? Are you willing to grow with SparkDEX? Are you willing to grow with Kinetic Markets? Are you ready to grow with Blaze Swap or Gnosis Global? Are you willing to grow with them? Are you willing to grow? Are you going to be here a year from now participating? Will you be here a year from now in a liquidity pool on SparkDEX? Right? What's the total of your transactions going to look like 90 days, 120 days from now on SparkDEX in Kinetic? What's your borrowing and lending going to look like? Reasonable, responsible borrowing and lending and or borrowing. You don't have to borrow. What's that going to look like? Excited about it. Ripple X, pay attention. What? SparkDEX Eternal? Oh, what the world? SparkDEX Eternal? Indeed. Guys, if you have an opportunity to donate to that DeFi Educational Fund.org, highly, that would be super cool. Again, they're fighting for us and our ability to participate in DeFi. Remember, powers that be are trying to take DeFi away. They're trying to eliminate custodial wallets. They're doing everything they sneakily can to take away DeFi. Why? Because DeFi empowers us. It gives us more power. What's going on, Legendary? You got some questions? Hit me up, bro. What's up? Right? DeFi empowers you and I. Remember, I told you my personal situation in a DeFi position and in a intermediary, which was a CeFi position. I had all the power and access here. My power and access was limited because it was an intermediary there. It's the bottom line. Oh, the app's not working. The app's down. Oh, wait a minute. I need to withdraw some of this money so I can change it over to this so I can pay off this and meet this. The app's, we apologize, but it's, we apologize, but there's no access. Meanwhile, we can liquidate you whenever we're ready. That part is working. That part of the app was working. While over here, hopped on, did what I needed to do, and moved on. And they're trying to take that away. They're trying to take that away, that empowerment for the average Joe and Jane. Oh, SparkDEX. B says he doesn't like the UI for SparkDEX. Really? I love SparkDEX. So that's what it is, guys. And sometimes we just got to put our money where our mouth is and support the things that are supporting us. So this DeFi Education Fund.org looks like that is a thing that is supporting us. And that is really, really cool. Really, 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 really cool. Really, really cool. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a chance to donate over there. I'm going to be covering them some more. I'll probably cover them from every day for the next few days. Give them their shine. So, Legendary, your questions. Oh, there they are. Legendary is asking, I'm looking at the SparkDEX pool. I'm using the automatic method for some reason that I don't know between RFLR and WFLR. The WFLR requires double the stake. So you're mentioning the RFLR and the WFLR on SparkDEX? That's an interesting pool. Is there such a thing on there? I didn't see that. Did you mean the SFLR and the WFLR? I don't know. Yeah. Make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. Small business doctors is in the building. What's going on, bro? So you mean I think he means the SFLR and the WFLR. Yeah, he means the SFLR and the WFLR. Got it. All right, so I'm looking at the SparkDEX pool and I'm using automatic method. And for some reason that I don't know, between the SFLR and WFLR requires double the stake. Well, SFLR is higher in value. What's going on, small doctors? SFLR is higher in value, right, than FLR. There it is right there. Small business doctors just said it. SFLR is more expensive than WFLR. There it is right there, legendary. In fact, I think they just announced today that they actually went over 1-to-1. I think it was like 1.11 to 1 FLR. You're not going to have a 50-50 in those pools. There you go. You're not going to have 50-50 in those pools. Now, you said questions. Do you have any other questions? If you use manual methods, it's an equivalent amount. And I think the automatic is the automatic thing. Maybe steer protocol or someone doing more of those things for you in terms of providing liquidity. At least it's almost equally. There you go. Yeah. So far as I know, legendary, the only time you're using automatic is in the SFLR Joule farm and liquidity pool. Otherwise, you would just be using manual. That's right. Right. So if you're going to use automatic, then you're not going to be in the full range pool. You're going to be in the, what do they call it? Aggressive, safe, and common pools. Is that what they call it? Aggressive, safe, common, right? Where you set your parameters. And maybe you want to do automatic because you don't know quite yet. You haven't learned that skill on setting your ranges. I still don't know if there's fees associated with that automatic, right? And when you click automatic, does that mean if you go out of range, are they putting it back into range? That part I don't know yet. Do you know that, small business doc? I don't know. I'm used to setting my own ranges, and we have a little technique for readjusting where we don't have to deal with impermanent loss for rebalancing. So I don't know what are we should have attended. There was an AMA with SparkDEX. Like, what are the benefits, pros, cons to using automatic in those liquidity pools? You know what I mean? So so I've only used automatic for the SFLR and the Joule farm liquidity pool. Legendary says there's a fee. It does. It says it's a zero. It says it's, I think that is the fee tier for entering and exiting the pool. I think that's what those numbers are that you're talking about. All right, let's take a look here. Let's go here. There's the SFLR, WFLR pool. And go here and add liquidity. Let's go to share. Yeah, you see, you're talking about these here. If you're talking about this 01, 05, 03, that's the enter and exit. That's the fee tier to enter and exit the liquidity pool. And you can pick one if you like, or you can, right? But the full range, right? It's set, it's in the full range. The capital is a little less efficient, so your risk is not as great and your profit is not as great. Not that you don't have risk and that you don't have your profit, just not as great. Once you click on safe, it changes. It's a little bit more riskier, but it's a chance for better capital efficiency, a chance to earn more fees and or rewards, right? And this is under a manual. Since it's on manual, you would be setting these ranges. Now, you could just leave it under the default safe and the default common and the default expert if that's what you want to do. You just kind of plan accordingly that way. I don't know what automatic is going to do for you. Let me see if I can hit automatic. I'll probably get that same message I got on the SFLR Jewel thing on this particular browser. See, it's not even yeah, see, I get that message. Small business doctor, that's the message I was getting when the SFLR Jewel thing. I had to change browsers. When I changed the browser, I did not get that message. I did not get that message. Does that make sense? I think the fee you mentioned, that's the fee tier for entering and exiting. That's what you pay to enter, and that's what you pay to exit. And those are the fees that you get for being in the liquidity pool. Yeah, I tried that refreshing. I had to use a different browser last time. All right, let me see. You guys think I can just refresh and it'll work? All right, let's see. Let's see. I hit automatic. Let me see. Let's refresh it now. See if it works. Up there. Nope, it went back to manual. I refreshed it, went back to manual. If I get to automatic again. Now, if I do it on a different browser, it worked. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's see, just connect here real quick. It didn't connect. What's going on? Connection failed. Why? All right, they connected that time. All right, there we are. Different browser. Go to that pool. Add liquidity. Can you believe that? 7 business days to get my money. 7 business days. All right. So let's try and hit automatic. Okay, there it is. Is this what you're talking about? There you're talking about steer protocol. So it says steer protocol, so that's what that is. I still 0.05, 0.01. Yeah, we're gonna have to ask, but I think I still think, I don't know, but legendary. I still think that that is the fee tier for entering and exiting the pool. That's what I think. I think that SparkDEX is paying Steer Protocol for providing this service. That's what I think. That's what I think. And I still think the 0.5, the 0.1, this 1% is the enter and exit fee for the particular farm or pool. That's what I think. And this narrow, wide are the different strategies that Steer Protocol is using as far as their ranges. And, you know, it's their liquidity management, you know, that's kind of their thing. And so they're doing the rebalancing and the auto balancing and auto compound, whatever they're doing, they do that for you as opposed to you doing it yourself. To me, like, again, I don't know. But if what I'm saying out loud is true, and that SparkDEX is covering this cost to use their protocol, and it's not you being charged, it would seem to be worth the money, and very much so worth the money. I mean, it would be worth being in the pool. Again, you're not being charged for the auto balancing. So for people who don't know how to set ranges and don't want to, you know, have it to be coming on here and checking to see if you're in range, don't have a strategy for getting back in range. But again, I don't know, but that's how I see these fears. We're going to have to reach out to someone at SparkDEX to see, are they covering the fee because they're hooked up with Steer Protocol, right? We need to find out if these are user charges for using Steer Protocol. I know, and other things like Turbos, that it shows you the fee that you're paying to use it, or VFAT. It shows you the fee. It tells you that's the fee for them to do their thing. That's why I don't recommend those unless you have, you know, thousands of dollars in that liquidity pool, right? Then it's worth that little fee. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to find out, home business, small business doctors. We're gonna have to find that out because I don't know. I don't know. What's going on there? Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good question, Legendary, but I just don't know. And small business stock just says me either. Yes, I don't know. We're gonna have to reach out to SparkDEX and kind of find that out. Oh, Hypo, the refresh worked for you. Nice. Yeah, I had to change browsers. So that's a good question, Legendary. We don't know, but again, it looked like to me that that was the fee tier for entering and exiting, but I'm gonna have to ask SparkDEX. So shit, I should have screenshot that and asked them about that. Somebody answer. Now, somebody answered my question here about this net APY with Kinetics. It was not from Kinetic. So that net APY is based upon what you got lending and borrowing, is what she is saying. Okay. This will be different for every person. It is your personal net APY. Okay, I did not know that. Inclusive of everything you have lent and borrowed. Okay. Shit. What happened? No, I just wanted to respond and say thank you. There? Okay. So I didn't know. I'm glad someone's took the time to answer that question. So yeah, maybe we should take a screenshot and go over to SparkDEX and ask them maybe we should do that. And go over to SparkDEX's Twitter and ask them. Let's do that. I don't know if I should do it like a DM or just I'll just do it. I usually just kind of do it in the comments of something that they post. See if they answer. Someone answers. So there it is. We asked them. We'll see if they respond. Because currently we just don't know. Don't know. All right, fam. There it is. I'm gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys checking in. Did a little deep dive on Kinetic markets. I shared what I'm gonna be doing with my Jewel token rewards. I appreciate you guys being here for sure. I'm going to split those rewards up into FLR and Jewel, and then decide what I'm going to do with this Jewel. What am I going to do with the rewards? Am I going to take the Jewel rewards and re-put them back into the pool? You know, that kind of deal like that. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, fam. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider, perhaps ponder this idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.